This is Factorio Recursion. This is episode number 26, I'm pretty sure. I'm relatively sure it's episode 26. Thank you, Autosave, making your appearance in every episode, the MVP of the series, Mr. Autosave. Today, what we're going to do, we are going to set up all of the guts for the rocket silo, all the things that are required. The low-density structures, the rocket fuel, the rocket control units, and the satellites. And while we won't be making them especially fast, because we still have a number of things to do, we will actually be able to launch rockets slowly. So that's kind of nice. It's been a while we've been setting this stuff up, and it's going to start to pay off. If you're wondering kind of like the list of things we need to do, what's left to do, here's a brief list, I guess. We need to massively increase our mining operations by taking a bunch of these iron and copper patches to bring in tons of ore. We need to set up a stone expansion. Any one of these is fine. Like, we're never going to... Well, we might use that much, but it's going to last a long time. So stone expansion, iron and copper. Then we need to update our oil refining area in here. And I've hooked up a few more belts to supply the things to the rocket silo. We might move it in here at some point, but for now it'll just be outside. We need to update this so it processes way more stuff, and that will include updating the plastic and the sulfur, sulfuric acid, lubricants. All of this stuff needs to get basically put on steroids and HGH and EPO. Any other kind of performance, you know, like caffeine even, I don't know, vitamins? Yeah, vitamin pills, fish oil, whatever. Then we need to update our red circuits and our blue circuits. Those are still old, but we're making them. We are making them. With our new oil supply, I swapped everything over in here. Well, not everything. I guess I could swap these over to speed modules as well. But I don't think we're cracking our fuel fast enough. Maybe eventually I might. But we're crafting stuff. It's just not going to be as fast as we really need it for a little while. We need to update all that and all that. This guy in here is basically done for now. We need to set up all the rocket stuff and then all the research stuff. So I think so that we can start being productive, and by productive I mean actually producing things like rockets and science. We're going to set up the rocket stuff and then the science stuff, and then we're going to go back and update our mining and all these other things that need to be faster, so that while we're doing those, we'll at least be making like science and progress and researching things. So anyway, here's what we need. We need low-density structures, rocket fuel, and rocket control units. We need 1,000 of each of those to launch a rocket, but because we're using productivity bonuses, let's go ahead and lay down some beacons just so we can do some basic math, find out how many of the... Actually, let's do it this way. Just easier to line it up. Yeah, there we go. We need to do some simple math so we can find out how many assembling machines we're going to need. Okay. And we're going to give all of these guys speed modules. So we need 1,000 of these, but we're going to have productivity bonuses, which is going to bring the number we need down to about 710. And then, because we're... Well, that's the... Here, let me do it in reverse. We need 510 of each of these three. Let's start with low-density structure, because it's pretty simple. Or even rocket fuel is even simpler. Oh, I'm not making solid fuel yet. We will need to set that up as well. Okay, low-density structures. They take... All these guys take 30 seconds to make. Let me put that in there. So with all that stuff, they have a crafting speed of 5.5 and a productivity bonus of 1.4. So if we make 510 of these, the productivity bonus is going to spin out 714. And then when it gets to the rocket silo, the 714 is going to get another productivity bonus, and that's going to equal 1,000. So we need 510. These things take 30 seconds to craft, so let's just do a little bit of calculator math here. We're going to take the speed that it takes to craft. 30 seconds. I got a calculator app over here on my other monitor. Divide that by the speed of the assembler, the crafting speed, 5.5. Okay, that gives us 5.45 repeating. And then divide that by 1.4 for the productivity bonus. So that's 3.89. And then we're going to need to multiply that by 510. So it's taken us 1,987 seconds, but we have to do it every 3 minutes, so divide by 180. A lot of numbers. Divide by 180, and we get 11 almost exactly. So we need 11 assembly machines, and we've got 3 items input and 1 item output. So we're definitely going to need a line at the top and a line at the bottom. I think probably a line through the middle, kind of like that. So this is more or less what the layout's going to look like, except for we don't have room with this design for 11 of these assemblers. This is only really necessary for low-density structures because it has 3 different ingredients. The rocket fuel is much simpler, and the rocket control units only needs 1 of each of those processing units and speed modules. So we can compact the other 2 lines. We just need to figure out a way to compress low-density structures just a little bit. So if we have the steel coming in from the top, and the copper and plastic on the bottom on a belt, then we need to find a way to compact this to where we're not taking up 3 spaces, taking out our middle ingredients. And I think what we might be able to do, we could just have an output there and have a line go down like that. And then we could put the output there, and I think maybe we could recover some space if we did this kind of thing. And then when they get down to the end, we just side load it, and it goes off with the other guys, and they live in eternal happiness. So I think with this, we can now move some of these over. Let's see how this looks like. In fact, let's just demolish it, see how much more compact it is. We should be able to recover enough space so that it's fine. So with this, we'll still have a 3-block gap between the guys, but every other time, they will be totally flush. And let's see, are you still getting... I think you should still be getting the max beacon bonus. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We need 1 more. Okay. Yes, we have enough room for sure. So the finished layout is more or less going to look like that. Let's just go ahead, and it's not going to look... the next ones are not going to be the same, but let's blueprint them and copy them twice just to get most of the pieces on the board, so to speak. Put all the modules in. We'll have to change what the guys are actually doing. Oh, and actually, the modules are going to get totally deleted. Maybe we just did that for the beacons. Do it. Let's delete the belts and then take a look at it, because the other 2 I think we'll be able to compress. But let's just, 1 step at a time. We will need to also combine these guys onto the same belt. We've only got 2 belts going out. 1 belt is going to have 2 of these guys combined, and the other guy's going to have the remainder, as well as occasional satellite. Okay, so the 3rd one, or the next one we'll do, rocket fuel. This one is super simple. Yeah, so we're just going to compact this, huh? We don't need this layout like this. Okay, so a little bit more developed with the layout. I moved the rocket fuel down here, and these guys up here, because we're going to need some additional assembly machines to make the speed module ones. We're going to make those on site. We need about that many, so it fits in the line pretty nicely. We actually need... oh no, technically we need like 5.5, so that extra beacon is not important. Too bad we can't have fractions of assembly machines. And then down here, these are the assembly machines in the quantities we need them to make 1 satellite every 3 minutes. What I might do is, so that this thing doesn't suck up so many resources, we might create like an actual circuit network so that it only allows it to use like 100 of... yeah, it takes exactly 100 because we can't use productivity bonuses. We need 100 low-density structures and 50 rocket fuel every 3 minutes. So I don't want it to suck up too many things. We're going to have to think about that later and how that's going to route. But for now, let's hook up at least a few of these. So I know that the steel is going to go right in the very top. So let's hook him up. Like that. And then over here, I have made a little area for solid fuel production. We need a belt, not a... or a pipe, not a belt. There those guys go. We've got the first... I think there's 10 of them. The first 5 go on the left side of the belt, and then it swaps. So that it's mostly balanced, and it's already backed up because it's got nowhere to go. Okay, and that belt is... Why is this belt not going anywhere? Okay, what did I do? Oh, did I hook up the wrong one? Oh, that is the 3rd one, not the 4th one. I kind of wanted it to be the 4th. Let's go take a look. because it was going to line up really nicely with the fourth one. But I guess the third one is okay as well. Okay, so just going to mean it's going to look like this. It's not that big a difference. Whatever. And then we'll give that a big as an underground thingy as we can do. And then we'll go move this belt here to there. Oops. Okay, there we go. Yep, okay, so this is going to start crafting. Picking up, and because we only need... Actually... Oh, you know what? Yeah, I didn't swap the inserters. We're still using the slow inserters for this area. We need 10 of these every, like, 3.8 seconds, and these guys are not quite fast enough. This was intended for the rocket control units, which only need 2 items every 3.8 seconds. But I swapped the assembly machines, what was doing what. So we'll actually reverse these again. Or just finish the reversal. And then we'll hook up the steel. The steel will need to go down to the bottom. It's going to come in right here. And then we'll split it. And some will go down there, some will go up here. So after routing a few more belts, we've got the low-density structure guy all set up, and we've split the belts so that we can lead them down here for this other stuff later, and we can worry about not using too much of that in the fullness of time. And we got this guy set up. Okay, so now we need to set up the belts so that the last of those main 3 are ready to go. Just doing things one at a time. There's gonna... Oh my gosh, the spaghetti is real. There's going to be a lot of spaghetti here until we get everything set up. I think it's best in this situation to hook everything up and then undo all the kinks at once instead of trying to do it in little pieces here and there. Whoops, no, that's wrong. Uh-oh. Actually, it's not that big a deal because they're just going to get sucked up by these guys. But that's the wrong side of the belt. Let me just do this. Okay, now they should be coming in the right one. This belt on the bottom needs to be green circuits. Yeah, just coming in here at random. That's part of the reason for the spaghetti is because they're coming in like all these scattered ports around the edges of the zone. But we will be able to sort that out later. But as we're just going to be adding more stuff. We have to route a bunch of stuff into the research guy as well. And I think it's kind of a waste of time to worry about that before we have everything hooked up. Let's deal with the problem once everything is fully laid out. And then we can make it look nicer. And our output is not that great because we're not bringing in enough stuff, right? But at least we will be making it. Eventually, we'll make it look nicer like this. It looks a little bit more dignified. Do we have the things coming out? We got 2 of them. Okay, let's go in here and check. See how it's doing. Red and green are getting mixed. And those guys are specifically, at the moment anyway, just making these speed modules, which are getting put on the opposite side of the belt. The speed modules are being combined with blue circuits. They're heading down there. All right, now we've got the rocket control units. We've got the big 3 hooked up. Now we just need to route all the rest of the miscellaneous stuff. What do we need that we don't have? We need batteries. You know what? We're going to need batteries. I was thinking we can either make the batteries here or we can make them out in the main facility because we will need them for research as well. So maybe we'll make them out there and send them in on a belt. But besides that, we will also need a belt for iron. And let's just see what else do we need for this guy. So we need to make solar panels and accumulators and radars. And that should be it. Okay, that's not too bad. Iron, batteries. We have all that stuff. And then the radars. Radars are those. Oh, okay, so we need iron and batteries. Well, stuff is happening, and the rocket is being prepared. We're at 25%. It's going to be incredibly slow and inefficient, but at least it's happening. Who would have thought? Episode 26, we're going to launch a rocket, maybe. Okay, running in here. What I think we're going to do, I haven't quite decided, but I think probably the most straightforward thing to do is to make sure we're only making 1 satellite every time we want one. What am I looking for? I'm looking for the roboport that was right here. Okay, let's just grab like 10. I'm going to set up and fiddle with off-camera a circuit network, a little connection thingy, a condition, so that we're only making one of these every 3 minutes. And since we're going to go ahead and do that, and the satellite is kind of an awkward thing to make. It takes 6 different ingredients. Yeah, it's kind of awkward. I think we'll just make a actual little roboporty logistics network and have it made that way. I'm not going to set it up right now. I'm just sort of laying it out there to remind myself. Well, I guess we could. Okay, yeah, we don't need you in these. I do want to make one so we can launch one rocket. So let's grab this guy. I want you to make just a rocket. And we can do this really simply. We can say, connect to the logistics network. And we're going to say, enable condition. We want... Where is it? Here we go. One satellite. We only want one. Yoinks. Set. Okay, so enable the condition. If there is less than one, it will allow it to produce. Then we can shift right click and left click. So now, oh, this is way too much though. What are the, I just want the actual ingredients because we don't need it that often. 100, 100, 150. Okay, so let's reduce all these down to 10%. I guess later we might increase them to like 150% or something. For right now, we're not producing enough to really warrant that. 50? No. Let's go with 5, although those are the easy ones to make. Yoinks. And then this one down to 100. This one down to 50. And then we're just going to... Where did that blueprint go that I just had? We're going to overlay these guys. All right. This is very much just thrown together just so we can launch a rocket. Did I limit those? I didn't need. Let's put my extra ones I've picked up there. Let's dump some logistics robots and fly my demons. And we only want... I put a limiter on here. We're going to have to do something a little bit more complicated than this. But if I've got an extra one in this chest, this guy won't do anything, so they won't suck up too much. It'll take a while for them to catch up. I think I have everything hooked up to be able to be... You're waiting for copper. Do we need... Whoa! Fly away, my friends! Why are you not producing... Less than 110. There's definitely not that many. Why aren't you getting copper? You're not getting any copper. Maybe just the robots haven't caught up because they're prioritizing the most recent one I put down, which was that one. Now it's going. Yeah, they just hadn't caught up. We might need to put some more in here in the fullness of time and adjust the values and all that kind of stuff. I'm going to I'm going to move it around. It's going to look prettier eventually. This is really looking nasty. We're going to hook up the science next. And then after it's all hooked up, we will straighten it out to make it look prettier. What a mess. Okay, let's go see if we have a satellite. If we have a satellite, I think we're ready to launch a rocket, or maybe I'll just wait for it to finish up processing units. All right, well, I waited long enough for one of those satellites to craft. Here we go. Auto launch with cargo. Not yet, not until we get it really hooked up. Here we go. Kaboom! First rocket getting launched. 1,000 science. We can start doing science hopefully fairly soon. Oh my gosh, I forgot how loud it is. Oh my god. It's so loud. Let's race it. See you later, rocket. And kablooski. Yeah. Woo, continue. The first rocket of many. And now we've got the science being outputted. Would you walk in between the roboports and go around here? And we've got a little UI here now. Toggle rocket frame, sent items, satellite 1. I guess we can send some other stuff. Here's our first space science. I'm just going to grab some. Ooh, it's white and shiny. That's going to head under here. And into there. Is it not hooked up properly? What's going... Oh, of course. Pointed the wrong direction. There we go. That's going in there. For now, it's going through here. And up into here. And then nowhere. Boom. Okay, and let me just dump the extras. We'll continue this next time, but for now, that's it. That's the end of the episode. Hope you enjoyed it. Spaghetti away, my friends. Everything is buzzing with activity. We can slowly be launching rockets. As soon as we set up the science, we can start researching stuff again. And then, as that's happening, we can go behind it and fix up the stuff that's all slow and old and decrepit. Yep. Okay. Hope you enjoyed it. See you later. Bye-bye.